What's up everyone, I'm CallumOnToast, and in today's video I'm going to be showcasing some crazy battles submitted to the channel by Cool23Boy23 with a team you might expect to see in the Master Premier Cup with 3 Shadow Pseudo Legendary Pokemon in Garchomp, Metagross and Dragonite, but no, these battles were actually done in the Open Great League. Now unfortunately I think this trainer only submitted 9 battles, so this will be a shorter video than usual, but I am planning on streaming today, which may have already happened depending on when I actually upload this, so you're getting a decent amount of content out of me anyways. But speaking of my streams, I want to give a quick shout out to Alan for their donation in my previous live stream. As always, it is very much appreciated. And with that being said, let's just get into the question of the day. Which Pokemon do you think has the most play in all 3 main leagues? Let me know in the comment section down below. And with that being said, let's get into the battles now. Let's go into the first battle. We need Shadow Garchomp into Azumarill. So this is not a good matchup for us, but we are running an ABA style team, which means in bad lead matchups, you kind of have to just stay in, because if we swap into Metagross, the opponent swaps out, then we've got Azumarill aligned to our Garchomp and our Dragonite in the back, which definitely is not ideal. I personally wouldn't have shielded the first move, but either way, going to go for back-to-back Sand Tombs. The opponent does not respect the damage there, so unfortunately, not going to grab a shield, also not dealing much damage, but we do double debuff their defense. So hopefully Metagross can come in and just go for a full Bullet Punch farm down, but looks like Azumarill will still make it to another charge move. It's just going to be a resisted Ice Beam, so we're going to no shield this, and we can commit to that farm down. So the opponent is going to stay in with Azumarill, let it go down there, and they come in with a Venusaur. Now things are looking much better for us. We've got 2 Pokemon that can deal with Venusaur, and especially with such a big energy advantage, we're able to make it to back-to-back Meteor Mashes as the opponent reaches a Frenzy Plant, grabbing both shields from the Venusaur, and suddenly things are looking pretty promising. We're going to no shield, let the Metagross go down, come in with our Shadow Dragonites, and at this point we're going to throw straight away here. Possibly could have just committed to a full farm down, but either way, firing off the Dragon Claw, and they've got a Bastiodon in the back, and this is a little bit tricky for us, but this is the perfect play here. Over farming as much as possible, realizing superpower, gonna debuff our attack, so throwing it at the last possible second, and it gets the KO up against the Bastiodon, and we're able to take that game. So into the next battle, we can see Galvantula in the lead. This is a much better matchup for us. The opponent's going to safe swap into Whiscash, so we're going to respond with our Dragonite now. The opponent has not farmed up to the potential Blizzard, but we're going to shield anyways. Even a Scald, going to do a decent amount of damage in this matchup. Unfortunately, they do debuff our attack, which is definitely not ideal. It means we can't just go for a full Dragon Breath farm down, but we fire off the Dragon Claw. We can live 1 charge move, so I don't mind shielding the first one here, as we would have had to shield a second Scald anyways. And at this point, we are going to commit to the full farm down. It's just going to be a Mud Bomb. We should just barely live this, as it is double resisted. We get the farm down there, and we're going to swap straight away into Garchomp. I actually really like this play here, and we're able to bait out the Talonflame, which is huge for us because Metagross obviously does not want to see Talonflame, and actually Metagross are not going to be particularly good up against the rest of the team, but it doesn't really matter at this point. We've grabbed the final shield, they go for a fly, we can come back in with the Dragonite, over farm just a little bit here, farming up to back-to-back Dragon Claws. Perfect play here. We can now fire off the Dragon Claw gets the KO, we're going to fire off the next Dragon Claw straight away. Dragon Claw is going to get the Galvantula very low. We can come in with our Metagross, just play it safe, use a shield here. The opponent actually goes for a Cross Poison. They get the boost, but it doesn't matter, as we're able to Bullet Punch, farm them down, and we're able to take that game. Into next battle, awful lead matchup for us once again. Hopefully they're not on Powder Snow, and it is just Shadow Claw. So actually, this means it's a lot more playable for us. Of course, we're going to hit for super effective damage with both Sand Tomb and Earth Power. Probably going to grab a shield, even though this is just a Sand Tomb. And Sand Tomb not going to do much damage, but Sand Tomb does grab that shield there. And honestly, we might just double shield. We kind of need these debuffs. Even if we come in with Metagross, they're hitting for super effective damage with the Shadow Claws. So yeah, might as well just stay in, double shield. We're probably going to grab a shield back from the opponent as well. So all shields are down on both ends, and the opponent will have to throw a charge move to get rid of us, so that's perfectly fine. The opponent goes for the Ice Punch gets the KO. We come in with the Metagross, we get the Bullet Punch farm down, and let's see what the opponent has in the back. The opponent comes in with a Azumarill, so definitely not ideal for the Dragonite, but good to see it here. We're going to go straight for the Meteor Mash. Meteor Mash will be connecting. It does big damage up against the Azumarill. The opponent will make it to a charge move, so at this point, we've got no shields remaining. The opponent goes for an Ice Beam. It doesn't get the KO, so we swap straight away into Dragonite, and they come in with a Clodsire. Now, this is going to be very tricky, but if the opponent isn't running Stone Edge, maybe we have some play here. We go for the Dragon Claw. Dragon Claw does do some decent damage there, and with the Dragon Breath damage, we got them deep into the yellow health range. They go for a Sludge Bomb, so not running Stone Edge, but unfortunately we still miss out on making it to a charge move, but we do make it to the Meteor Mash here. Meteor Mash will of course get the KO. but Azumarill is just slightly too healthy there. They're able to bubble farm us down, and unfortunately we do lose that game. But going into next battle, another awful lead matchup for us. So yeah, this is definitely why I don't run ABA style teams. It's just really hard to come back from a bad lead here. But either way, we're going to stay in. They're just going for a Swift, and we will at least make it to a Sand Tomb. Unfortunately, not even making it to the Earth Power, but maybe we grab a shield anyways, and we do actually grab a shield. So grabbing a shield advantage up against a pure Fairy type Pokemon is pretty impressive for the Shadow Garchomp. We can now come in with the Metagross. They just go for another Swift, not dealing much damage whatsoever, and they swap into Quagsire. So Quagsire a lot more tricky than the Whiscash, as they can be running Stone Edge. They full send the Stone Edge there. We're now going to massively overfarm in this matchup. And again, the opponent is just going to throw a Charge Move that is not the Stone Edge. It's going to be a Mud Bomb, which is again double resisted. So we tank that very comfortably. And now if the opponent comes back in with a Clefable, we're going to go straight for a Superpower here most likely. Superpower only single resisted, so going to do a lot more damage than a Dragon Claw. It grabs the final shield. We swap into our Metagross, and we get off a few bullet punches before they swap into Mandibuzz. Now Mandibuzz is all shields down here. We're going straight for Meteor Mash. Meteor Mash does big damage once again. It's insane how hard this Shadow Metagross hits up against the bulkiest Pokemon in the Great League. I don't mean specifically Mandibuzz, but I mean like in general, like Azumarill, Mandibuzz, Clodsire, other Pokemon we've seen already. They come back in with Clefable. They're gonna fire for Charge Move, and from this range Swift will get the KO, but it doesn't matter. We already had another Superpower loaded on our Shadow Dragonite. Superpower gets the KO, and we're able to take that game. So going into the next battle, we're going to see Shadow Garchomp into a Shadow Feraligatr. So I'd say this is a fairly neutral matchup for us. Of course, they are going to outpace us to the Charge Moves, but we can just go for a Sand Tomb, debuff their defense here, and we might be able to go for a full Dragon Tail farm down here after this lands. And actually, no, never mind, the opponent is just going to no shield. So yeah, okay, we do get the farm down there. They're going to come in with a Malamar, a little bit tricky for us because, yeah, we've got two Pokemon that are very glassy. Metagross does at least double resist the Psywave damage, so maybe we come in with the Metagross here. I'm not really sure. Dragon Breath going to do more damage, so maybe we can just Dragon Breath farm them down before they make it to back-to-back Charge Moves. But let's say it's going to be close. We're actually going to no shield. Foul Play doesn't quite take us out. We still get the Dragon Breath farm down, and they come in with a Clodsire in the back now. Obviously, you think up against a ground type, it's going to be tricky for us, but they are, of course, running Poison Sting. They full send the Earthquake there, which means we should just barely outpace them to back-to-back Charge Moves. It's going to be very close, though. We are one away from the second Meteor Mash. We grab the final shield, and we do get there in time, and that's huge for us. Meteor Mash coming through. We'll get the KO up against the Clodsire, and we're able to take that game. So going into the next battle, we're going to see Shadow Garchomp into Pangoro. So this is another matchup where, of course, they're going to very easily outspam us, but we're going to deal a lot more fast move pressure. So we're going to shield up the Night Slash there as the opponent did farm up to a potential close combat, I believe. We're going to go straight for Sand Tomb. Unfortunately, they do catch that onto Azumarill, but it just means it's going to be an easier matchup for our Metagross here, as a Meteor Mash probably going to get the one-shot now that the defense is debuffed, and the opponent no-shields that. It does get the one-shot there, and they come in with a Alolan Marowak, and unfortunately, they get a huge farm down, so that's definitely not ideal for us. We're going to come back in with our Garchomp here, as we realize Dragonite will at least resist the fighting damage on that Pangoro, so they'd have to go for just Night Slashes. We're going to go for a Sand Tomb here. Sand Tomb should be grabbing a shield, or maybe they're going to put all their faith into Pangoro, but no, they do shield that. We come in with the Shadow Dragonite. We kind of have to shield this. A Shadow Bone going to do more damage than a Night Slash, assuming they don't get the boost here, but either way, they're going to have to throw two Charge Moves to get rid of us. Night Slash doesn't get the boost, and we actually get the Dragon Breath farm down, which is huge. They come back in, but they do reach another Charge Move here, and even a Bone Club, double resisted, gets the KO from that range, but we get a simultaneous KO there, as the Dragon Tail takes them out at the same time as the Fire Spin, and we do get a tie. But into the next battle, another great lead leading into Galvantula. The opponent's going to Safe Swap into Hypno, and we come in with our Shadow Metagross, and of course, we are double resisting the confusion damage. We might need to double shield depending on what charge moves they've got here. They've shown Thunder Punch, so probably going to be Shadow Ball as the other charge move. Kind of depends if they shield or not. We're going to go for the Meteor Mash, grabbing a shield there, and probably, oh no, never mind, we're not going to double shield here. The opponent just goes for another Thunder Punch, which we're able to live. Can we get the Bullet Punch farm down? Yes, we are able to do so, and we come out with an Earthquake loaded, which is huge for us. Gonna throw it straight away. Earthquake grabs the final shield. We come in with our Garchomp, but they've got our Azumarill again, so unfortunately, not ideal for us. We're going for the Sand Tomb first. This does make sense as we can debuff their defense and then make it to a Earth Power. But either way, gonna shield the first charge move here as the opponent goes for Play Rough, and that is pretty good for us just because it means it will take them one extra bubble to make it to the next charge move, which means we overfarm as much as possible. Throw on CMP. It doesn't quite take them out there, but it shouldn't be a problem as we've still got our Shadow Dragonite in the back. Play Rough gets the KO. We come in, we get the snipe with the Dragonite, and they come back in with Galvantula. But can we live a discharge here? It's going to be very close here. Discharge coming through. We barely hang on, and we make it to the Dragon Claw just about. Dragon Claw should be enough damage to get the KO up against Galvantula, and we're able to take that game. So going into the next battle, we're going to see Shadow Garchomp into Lucario. So this is a bit of an interesting matchup here for us, of course. Sand Tomb's going to hit for super effective damage. We can tank a power-up punch here. So we're going to no shield and then just go straight for Sand Tomb. And Sand Tomb, despite being a pretty rubbish move, probably grabs the shield here. It does grab the shield. And we do get one more Dragon Tail. Now we're going to come in with the Shadow Dragonite here, and we're definitely going to shield this. They are boosted. The opponent goes for a Thunder Punch. Thunder Punch honestly would have done quite a lot of damage there. So we shield that up. They come in with a Feraligatr, and with an energy advantage, we're now looking pretty good. Unfortunately, Dragon Claw won't get the KO from this range, but the opponent shields anyway, so that's great. At this point, we're going to use our final shield as well. I'm probably going to play to a CMP tie once again. Either that or farm up and throw just before they make it to the next move. I'm going to fire off the Dragon Claw here. Dragon Claw gets the KO, and they've got a Ferrothorn in the back, so things look things look over already as we're able to make it to the Superpower. Superpower gets the KO, and we're able to take that game. So going into the final battle of this very short video, but leading into Clodsire, so this should be a good matchup for us. Of course, they will definitely outpace us to the charge moves, but is this actually enough energy for an Earthquake? I don't think it is. It's just a Stone Edge, so we're going to no shield, and then they swap into Galvantula. Oh, sorry, not Galvantula. Sorry, we've seen a few Galvantula already. It's a Charger Bug this time around. We go for the Earth Power, grabbing a shield from the opponent there. We are going to no shield this as they go for an X-Scissor. X-Scissor gets the KO. Bit of an interesting play there, but I guess since we did obviously get the nuke shielded, they might have outpaced us to the next charge move anyway. So instead, going to come in with our Shadow Dragonite, shielding up the discharge. We can now commit to a full Dragon Breath farm down. Very nice there, but they've got a Azumarill once again. So swapping into a Metagross, but this is absolutely fine. They come in with the Clodsire. We're going straight for the Meteor Mash. Meteor Mash grabs a shield from the opponent. And again, is this just a Stone Edge? We're going to no shield. It is the Stone Edge. Great call there. Now this fight, we might be able to commit to a full Bullet Punch farm down here. I think that probably is the right play because if we throw now, they can probably bubble farm us down with the Azumarill. So instead, going to commit to the full Bullet Punch farm down, and we get that farm down perfect for us. We're now going for one Bullet Punch, fire off the Meteor Mash. Meteor Mash, going to deal big damage, and we're able to make it to a second Meteor Mash. Perfect play there. Meteor Mash, number 2, gets the KO up against the Azu, and we're able to take that game. So that's going to be it for today's video. If you did enjoy it, please make sure you leave a like, leave a comment letting me know, and as well, don't forget to respond to the question of the day if you haven't done so already. And if you want to see more content like this in the future, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on post notifications. That way you'll be notified whenever I upload a new video. And if you want to take your support even further, you can now become a channel member with perks including early access to new videos, shoutouts at the end of each video, custom loyalty badges, and custom emojis to use in the comments. I want to say a massive thank you to everyone that has already become a channel member. Your support is greatly appreciated, and with that being said, thank you all so much for watching today's video, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.